Politics.
Yo, welcome back to Neighborhood Politics. I am Mrs. Neighborhood Politics.
And I'm a guest today.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm a guest today.
So he is a guest today, and then we got a guest, my brother Doe. Are y'all excited about today?
For sure, we ready to kick it.
No, seriously.
Yeah. We ready to get to it, man.
Oh
we
my goodness!
I'm feeling good.
I can see it right now. I can see the characterness about to come in. So what is that you pouring up?
Just some of that.
Just bourbon, no free promo for them.
Okay, just bourbon.
You know.
What's the vibes like?
Oh yeah, you said what's the vibes?
Yeah,
there ain't no vibes to it. You know, we just doing what we do. You know,
this is funny as heck.
Yeah, we told you what we came to do. You know.
Oh, okay. So we here talking to two serious men in black. That's what's going on. I like the swag. What inspired the swag?
I think we wanted to just try something different. You know, both Doe and myself, we both we're taking pride in, I think the word is maturation. Maturation is, I think, that's the word, and trying to, do different things and, push forward and, set examples of, the men that we desire to be.
Okay, so what I'm getting is like just a nice representation of black men.
Yeah, something like that. Black men, black
showing
fathers,
up.
role models, mentors. Brothers, cousins, all of the above.
Just
I think we
nice representation.
We wear many hats.
Showing that you can pop out and show them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Looking real nice, looking real spiffy. But I think one of the main things that we hear, this is a Father Day episode. So definitely, I want to say I'm proud of both of y'all. Seeing the man that y'all become, and then for real, like real talk, just seeing the man that y'all become and who y'all are today, like I just think is beautiful. Two fathers, bro. Did y'all ever think y'all would be fathers?
Nah, I mean, I always wanted kids.
Did you?
Yeah, I always said 3.
3?
So I got 2 more to do.
Oh,
but
for real?
Yeah, for sure. But Ayla, she changed my life for real though. So I can never imagine it being like this.
Yeah.
Like the love. Like my daddy always told me, like, you will love your nephews and nieces, but when you have your own kid, you'll see what different type of love and that. So that's what I'm experiencing. Like, boy, I don't care if she had daycare, if a little girl push her, I'm gonna push the little girl. That's the type of love you have for him though, but it's just crazy though. Like,
dang. So did you, you knew like you wanted to be a father as well, right?
Yeah, I definitely did.
Was it like, no, I'm serious. Like prior even to even meeting me, was you just like,
yeah, I definitely wanted to be a father.
Mm-hmm. How many kids did you want?
2 to 3. 2 is ideal, 3 I was okay with.
So, like, where did that desire come from? Just want to be a father? Like, was it just like upbringing, just seeing like?
Yeah, for sure. My dad, he was amazing. So that's how he always said his best friends was his kids. So he not only did he father us, but he fathered the kids that he coached in basketball. So that's all I knew was just being a father.
Being a father.
Yeah.
That's
We're having
dope.
great examples
of father
and bad examples, but what I was more in tune with is the great examples.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. I ain't gonna lie, because I think it ain't that often that you hear a man say that they want kids. I mean, I think because in today's society, it seems like it's just a lot going on in fatherhood. Like in general, when it comes to parenting with a man and like just having a father. I guess I'm gonna ask y'all, my first question is like, how important do y'all think it is to have a father? Like and what effects can it have? Like without having one.
I'm gonna let you go first.
Without having one?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially for some, I mean, each kid, they want to have you should want a family with 2 parents, Just if you have a mama, it's unbalanced. The mama trying to act like the father as well. The son, if she got a son, he's trying to be the man of the household at a younger age. So he's not even able to even become a man because he became a man at 10 because he got to be the man of the house. And then you just having a father, bro, they show you how to be a protector, how to lead. Just so many examples of a great father, what they do for you. Then discipline, You not having that father right there, you can do whatever with your mom. Get out of here. That father, man, he just instilled that leadership, just being that king of the household.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I can't be serious, because it's like, okay, did you hear my question?
Yeah, I was listening though.
So go ahead.
What's your question again? Go ahead. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure I'm clear. I want to make sure I'm clear.
I was asking, what do y'all think? How important, or what's the significance of having a father? Like, what do you think is the significance of having a father and not having one in today's society? Like, what is that like?
Oh, it's imperative. You know, it can. I'm turned up, man. It's imperative, man. Extremely important to have a father in your life. Or have I'm gonna say a father figure, somebody that's active, consistently on a consistent basis. With us both being teachers, I'm gonna speak for myself. I have many young men that I come across from teaching basketball, or and so forth, in which there isn't really an active father figure there. And in some cases, you see the difference in a young man who does, or young man or a young lady who does have a father figure compared to the ones who don't. So it can man, the difference that it makes is I don't even know the word that I can use for it, but it's undeniable.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think just growing up and not really having my father in my life, it did raise a lot of questions as a young woman, you know what I'm saying? Or like feeling like, dang, was I not worthy enough? Did you not love me? Or even though that wasn't the case, I didn't know, but that's what it felt like. You know what I'm saying? It raises questions, in general. So, I can only imagine as a man how that could possibly feel, or what that would looks like, or even like, just not having that positive male role model. I was watching the interview and it was just saying like the significance of like real life man. Like when y'all younger, y'all get to see y'all y'all dad go get their hair cut. So now y'all know that's a routine. That's something that y'all used to. Mm-hmm. Y'all seeing that routine, that male figure saying this is what we doing, to the point where you can replicate that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's important for you. You remember those times. Every moment that y'all had with y'all dad, do y'all remember? Mm-hmm. Like most of them, right? Yeah, those important moments. Like for you, your dad playing basketball with you, like really training you. Those moments you'll never forget. Those moments you'll never, Mm-hmm. But I think when the man was sitting on the interview, I was like, dang, that's crazy, because it does start in the house. Like, it does start at a very, very young age. And I think for y'all both got daughters. Y'all don't even have sons.
Yeah.
No, you what do y'all think about just having like a daughter rather than having a son? Which ways do y'all think I need to show up for her? Ayla and Yara, which ways do y'all think I need to show up for y'all daughters that would be kind of different than showing up for a young man?
Shoot, man, it's first off, it's a beautiful thing to have a child in general, of course, but to have a young lady that you kind of, are and I'll speak for myself in this case. I'm still trying to learn how to be a nurturer, or that caring person, to where I can show a different side of myself. So, I think that Yar is, at such an early age is already showing me that. Cause, I can't just, I think I've said this before, you can't just be like, pat her on the butt and be like, hey, get up and go, and, and it's funny cause Yar is a little rough little baby, but it's still at the end of the day, she a young lady. So, right now in the era that we growing up in our society, we see some crazy things, some crazy things, some outlandish things, to where, sometimes you be like, man, I wonder how that young lady would turn out if she did have a present father figure. Cause, sometimes you see these young ladies doing some crazy things in search for love, or search for seeking attention. And, without a present father figure, they don't know where to get that from, or they don't know where that look like, So I think it's super important to, be present in your daughter's life. For mom, speaking for myself to be, active and present in yours life.
Yeah, what about you, though?
It's super dope. Like Ayla, like my best friend for real. Like she's my road dog, my twin for sure. Just crazy though. Just, man, I can't really explain it. Mm-hmm. Like you were saying, like having a son, they fall down, you just tell them get up. When Ayla, she fall down, I gotta hold on to her. Yeah. She acting like she got a scratch on her finger, give her a fake Band-Aid, and you gotta do all the extra stuff, like just being like a big nurturer just giving her an example when she get older of what a man is.
Yeah.
So she ain't ever got to be chasing over a man. Like I got my daddy at home. He treat me like a princess already. So I know how you supposed to be treating me.
Yeah.
So give her examples of a good man, good qualities of a man. So when she get out there in the real world, she already know.
Do y'all think okay? So let me ask y'all this: have becoming a father, have it made y'all confront some things within yourself that y'all never had to confront before? Like actually becoming a father, some things that it probably brought to the surface that you needed to deal with, or something that you needed to confront.
Like I said, I guess kind of go off my last answer. That nurturing side, because you just can't be that tough figure that you may have always been growing up. Now it's time to be a nurturer. Now it's time to be present on that side of things. Because your daughter wants that. So that would probably be one of the main things that I would say.
What about you though?
I ain't really give much thought in that one. I would say I was acting crazy back in the day with
Let's
the
talk
shorties,
about it.
So you just think about it like, damn, that could have been your daughter back in the day or something. You see, look, y'all crazy.
Let's talk about it. Nah, seriously, no.
Yeah, but
have it ever made you? So you feel like that kind of made you confront that part of your life, from back then?
For sure. Cause that could be your daughter, however you treated it.
This is why I can't. Y'all, I cannot.
What?
You messing up those.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, bro. I'm listening.
Cause he's in character. So you feel like it ain't made you confront nothing. Okay, what about so whatever. You feel like it made you just confront that part of it, just as far as back in the day, maybe, dealing with somebody's daughter now, looking like, dang, I got a daughter now.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be on whoever treat my daughter like that. I'm on them for sure. Yeah. So just looking back, probably the girl back in the day, they probably deserved it though. So
oh really?
So now just
oh my god. So let me ask you, no, seriously, because I'm sitting here with two players from the Himalayas, retired players from the Himalayas, and back in the day, y'all was out here.
Something like that.
Something like that for sure.
So,
I mean, hey,
I cannot. What does? I know you a married man and you engaged to be married. This is crazy.
Yeah.
No, so seriously, y'all had y'all little time, whatever. But I mean, on a serious note, just from how y'all used to move, y'all never was disrespectful type of dude. So I'm not about to sit up here and play like that. But just from how y'all used to move to now, having a daughter, do y'all think dang, or wish y'all could have changed some things differently?
I mean, it is scary, because, but in all seriousness, and I think I can speak for Doe as well. We went through phases, but like you just said, I don't believe that I was never a disrespectful trifling dude. You know what I'm saying? But even still with saying that, it still don't make it, right that, I was still moving around how I was moving around at a point in time. So it do put into perspective, as a father, things that I can teach my daughter, you know what I'm saying? And that's just something as simple as self-value and self-respect, because again, it was probably many of instances in which, if a young lady would have went and talked to their father and said, hey, I'm dealing with this dude named Q. Yeah, he cool, dad. He ain't disrespectful. He ain't rude, but I want to be committed to him, and I think he's still interacting and dealing with, a few other chicks. What should I do? As a father, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell my daughter right away, go ahead and move forward. Know your self-worth. You know what I'm saying? So I think that alone is something to what Doe just said as far as what you can teach your daughter. I'm
already treating you like a princess.
I'm already treating you like that. So I'm not you don't have to go out there and seek that from, a dude that, although he might be cool, he's still not valuing you at that point in time. And that don't mean he a bad dude, because sometimes young ladies, they ready to commit a lot earlier. Y'all y'all mature sooner than us. So but it's still in the case where if you are ready to commit as a young lady, then yeah, you need to kind of focus on your grades. Wait till that young man might be a little bit mature, but don't go ahead and just be jumping around from dude to dude, seeking that validation or some type of love that you may not be getting.
Yeah. What about you though? When it comes to that, like, you know, from just the way that you used to move to now having a daughter, what have it put things into perspective to you? Like the things that you can teach her, things that you could talk to her about, or, you know, cause not even being funny to both of y'all. Y'all daughter can for sure meet a cat like both of y'all.
Yeah.
And y'all know how y'all was moving.
But like you was saying, when she got that standard come to us, because we don't have a relationship where they can come to us and be open about anything, we can give her game on everything where bro he not even gonna treat her like that because she know it's over with. When she
so you saying like from the beginning, like
yeah, like you can't be disrespectful to her because she already gonna move in a different way. Well, try to. She gonna have her own way, of free will. But I'm saying we put her on game on certain stuff where she not going for some of that stuff.
So do y'all think that by y'all being able, so y'all think that, so y'all don't, so some, not to go into like the girls that y'all used to talk to, y'all don't think nobody had their daddy?
I don't think they was going to him about it.
Okay. Okay. So you saying creating that?
I'm like to what Doe just said, and what I was going to say next. I never sat down with nobody's father. You know what I'm saying? As in like no talking state. You know what I'm saying? So I'm present. You know what I'm saying? So at this point in time, if y'all were to come to me at, let's say you said 16 was okay, 16, and say, hey, daddy, I want to go to homecoming with this young man. You know, I ain't saying we got to sit down and have no man-to-man conversation, but I'm gonna meet you. You know what I'm saying? We gonna interact. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like with the discernment that we both got, you know, within that moment of interaction, at least enough is gonna be said to where as a young man, you gonna know like,
don't play with my daughter.
Don't play with my daughter in a respectful way. You know what I'm saying? Like, young man, are you serious? You know what I'm saying? She really likes you. If you ain't serious, then let's go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, maybe fall back a little bit. You know, I think with being a present father to where Doe said you can have that active relationship, you know, hopefully that could, because it's going to still be free will. You're going to do what you're going to do. She going to do, you know, but hopefully we can, you know, at least have that type of relationship in which, you know, even when it come down to homecoming, you saying, hey, daddy, I do want to go to this homecoming with such and such. Can you meet him? You know, that right there can be enough to where, you know, we can fill each other out.
Okay.
Then I think some of it, like you said, is free will where it's just, you just gonna have to bump your head sometimes. Like our daughter don't bump their heads, whatever the case may be. Yeah. But it's, you learn from it and like, I ain't moving like that no more. I know what that's like. We can tell her about all the dudes she going to school with, how they are. She still don't want to figure it out, but it's about just going through it.
Having experience.
Yeah, I think even when I was in college, all that stuff going on, it made me who I am now. Like, yeah. It got me ready for this part of my
phase of your life that you in now. Yeah.
Like you saying, like just all the things that you experienced.
Yeah, like college, just everything for real.
Yeah.
Then it's crazy though, like how God got me super close with y'all. I'm close with Barnett and Ashley. Like everybody that's in a relationship, which when I wasn't in a relationship, I was still pulled towards y'all. And I was able to see like great examples of how you and Q will argue, get back together, or even the good times, not even the bad times, just how y'all move together, how y'all would do like surprises for each other. So, I mean, my dad and my mom, everybody was great examples, but they a little bit older. But when I was in Cincinnati, I didn't really see that from my peers, you know? So it was just great just being around.
So you think that created the desire?
Yeah, for 100%.
100%. Like you being around it is like, oh, I really actually want this type of lifestyle. Yeah.
Yeah, because when you at home, ain't nobody married. You know, everybody, all my peers in Cincinnati, not
just
talking about marriage. Yeah, not talking about marriage. So yeah, and that's what I was raised on. But you know, when you're young, you just out there
chilling.
But when you see some people, your brother, my other brother, that's actually doing a walk of that type of lifestyle. I mean, like, God ain't put me around y'all for no reason, you know? So it's like, all right, what's going on for real? Now I'm just watching y'all. All right, let me chill out.
Chill out.
Well, Ayla, I mean, God crazy though. I'm going to tell you that. I'm just saying.
Go ahead, talk about it. What, she changed you?
Yeah, for sure. Like, he used me and Ariana to get Ayla here. And Ayla brought us together. It's just crazy for real. Yeah.
Because I'm sure that when you first, like, as far as even, let's talk about them first. It's for both of y'all, just in general, because I know a lot of fathers can relate. So you gotta be honest about your feelings when y'all first became a father. Like, what was those feelings like, good and bad? Like, or fears? Like, what were some of the fears? What were some of the feelings? What were some of the thoughts? Like, what were y'all experiencing first finding out that you was about to be a father, or actually when she was actually here as a father, good and bad?
I mean, so I would say some of the fears is just the unknown. You know, you not knowing, and I would say for myself, I'm gonna say the unknown, but you know that really doesn't phase me. You know how I am as an individual. Like it is what it is with me. I'm straight to it with it. You know what I'm saying? But still, the unknown is a real thing. You know, but to counter the unknown, having close friends, you know, Jonte, you know, I don't want to name cats because, you know, I end up, you know, it's you know, it's so many people that I've had. I feel like I was one of the last ones as far as groups. I mean, a core of friends that I've grew up with, you know, and many great examples. So again, I don't want to name names and, you know, forget nobody, but having individuals and then being able to kind of have Ayla come up before it's a yard, you know what I'm saying? And we spend that time, and then, you know, having Demir come up, and we spending time and kind of learning that at an early age too, because we was picking up Demir when he was, you know, our nephew. We was picking him up when he was a couple weeks. So you know what I'm saying? You feel me? So you know, having them moments to where you can kind of get an idea of what it's like. You know, even though it's not your experience, having a, you know, being able to firsthand watch, learn. As you said with us, watch, learn, observe, sit back, you know, understand certain things, have conversations about it with certain people, and take bits and pieces from everybody. Okay, I'm gonna take this from Dom, I'm gonna take this from such and such, I'm gonna take this from this person, and you know what I'm saying? And then from there, kind of when our moment comes, be like, you know what, okay, this how I'm gonna run it all up together, and this how I'm gonna push forward with it.
Okay, what about you though? Like, what were some of the thoughts, feelings, fears, like some things that you experienced when you first was finding out that you was about to have a kid, or even when she got here, just whatever
first found out I was having a kid, I was scared, nervous for real, because me and Ariane weren't together. So, you know, it's like you said, the unknown. What really helped me, I called my mom and dad like, I got a baby on the way. When they was super hyped for me, that's when everything changed. My daddy and my mama was like dumb hype. Yeah, they made me feel real comfortable. After that,
you was like,
took a deep breath. I was cool.
Yeah. Was you like, you were just afraid, like, or was you say you were just nervous, like, bro?
You know,
what?
It's just the unknown. You don't know how. Because I see so many situations where the mom and the dad is not, they co-parenting, but it's not the best.
Yeah.
Somebody end up on child support, and
so you were just like kind of like, dang, I don't want no unhealthy situation. Like,
yeah, no unhealthy situation.
Yeah, you kind of felt like you weren't necessarily ready.
Me and her.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
So then once she came, what are some of the things that you're feeling as a father? Like once she here, like you like, oh, my daughter is here.
I was dumb hype. And then me being around Ayla and watching Ariane parent, I'm like, okay, Ariane actually is super dope. You know, it really brought us more closer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when, like I said, God is moving in mysterious ways that I can't even explain, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Ayla, before Ayla, I was a manager at Sam's Club. You know, after you hoop your whole life, after that, once you're done hooping, the ball stop, you don't really know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So Ayla really gave me that sense of purpose back, really. Even now, like, I'm way more happier. Like,
with having her?
Yeah, with having her. Yeah, when I was up here without Ayla, it just felt like I was just going through the motions.
Yeah.
Besides, I used to wake up every day. We had workouts to go to. We had something to strive for after hoop. That's why I think Ayla just came at the right time, for real.
Yeah, and you got to, you know, even for myself. So, you know, just to take it all the way back to, you know, them times to when we was in school, you know, because, you know, you younger than me, though. So, you know, we all in school, like you said, it's structured. You know, we working out every single day. We you know what I'm saying, we doing our routines. And then everybody, you know, for the most part, I'm speaking from the school aspect, we all go on, graduate, end up going on about our life, and then boom, you start seeing, you know, individuals have babies. So I'm gonna go back to Doe, you know, Doe again younger than me. So, you know, with me being able to kind of watch Doe be a father, you know, before me, if we speaking about from the age aspect, you know, for me, that was dope. You know, that was, honorable, for me to be able to see how you doing it and be here with you, because I was here experiencing, for the most part, life with you when you were saying you was just going through the motions, and then to kind of see you take that next step and that neat leap, like, bro, I gotta, I gotta shoot back to the crib. I gotta handle my business, bro. I'm about to be a father. You know what I'm saying? That was hard, so even for myself, it's like, dang, I'm seeing Doe do this. I'm seeing him really mature, take a step as a man. We was men, but young men at a point, what I'm saying? We was young men when we was first down in Kentucky. So to see us come back here, and then, life happens, and boom, now we having children, and me being able to sit and watch you for a couple years, being a father, being an active, dope father, to a beautiful daughter. It's like, man, I'm ready. I got Doe in my corner. He just showed me how to do this.
So you feel like having that support, that community, like with people who already had kids, kind of made you feel ready for what it was that you want to do.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree, because you start pushing down, though. He like, I'm 30. What we doing? This at the time he 30. Like, what we doing? Like, I'm 30 years old. Like, all my friends got kids. Like, what we doing? I'm like, I'm 28.
Yeah, I got a little bit of time.
I got a little time. and as soon as he got on that, and I got on the bandwagon of being like, okay, we can have a kid. Yeah. He's like, all right, let's go. It was 30. He was. Well, you turned 31 when we had yours. Like, that's how when he turned 30, he was like, I'm serious. I'm 30 years old. Where's my kid at? So I know that, so I guess, okay, so that's good. That's good right there. We can go off of that. Like,
hold on, yeah.
Let me talk to me.
This is a clown situation right now, y'all. Go ahead. Let me see what y'all working with.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Bro.
I'm doing the right way, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, that's right. Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Whoa! What is going on here?
Fathers being black excellence right here, man. That's what it looked like to us,
You see the pinky?
I see the pinky. I don't know where I just left off at, because I was in it. You feel me?
Yeah.
So let me ask you.
Okay.
We don't change the questions up.
Okay.
From a perspective of like you being a wife to Q and being like a sister to me, how have you seen like fatherhood change us?
Man, okay. So I'm gonna start with you. Y'all, Doe is my brother for real. He know. So it's like I see you from college days, like truthfully, from college days, being Doe, young and turned, being a ladies' man. I'm being honest, and same with Q, cause you feel me. Okay, so back to you.
Yeah.
Seeing how you was then compared to like once we graduated, and then like you said, started working at Sam's Club and being a manager, I seen the shift right there. Boom. I think, like you said, I could see the transition of the shift of, dang, ball ain't life no more. Now I'm in the real world. So I think I seen that part of you. And then when I seen that, the birth and the coming of Ayla. My thank you. The birth and the coming of Ayla, I seen a different Doe then. That's crazy. Like, I'm not gonna lie. So it was like, I seen you party, had your fun, then I seen real life, and then I seen Ayla come, and then that's when I seen a complete shift right there. It was like, I think on the outside looking in, I seen you be nervous. I seen you be like, but then I felt like once you knew that that's what you was doing, I seen that shift. Like, you could tell that in your mind something clicked. Like, okay, I gotta really turn it up. I'm about to really be a father. Like, and then Ayla being here now 3-4 years, in the game, it's like, dang, Doe, like, you really went from, in my eyes, a boy to a man.
Yeah.
Like on some real, like some real stuff. Like, you really went from a boy in front of my eyes to a whole total man, to where like, you don't seem like how you was at first. Like, you seem that it seems like now that you have accepted who God created you to be, like your identity. I could see your identity outside of even just a dad. Like, I don't just look at you like a dad. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just a part of who you are. But like, as who you are totally, like, you can see that your identity just like, and then your relationship with God. I really watch you go from a boy to a man. That's the best way I could say. From then to now, even just like I see you being a father, like the way you care for your daughter, the way you love her, the way you like, nah, like, I don't want to be without my daughter. I'm about to go get my daughter. Always having your daughter, like, and like you said, just having a relationship with her, like that's really your best friend. So I seen that with you. And then like with Q, I met Q when he was 21.
Yeah.
He 32. Like, so I'm being real too. It's like seeing, but it's different now because we together. So it's like I'm going from seeing him, me and him just chilling, him being a cool dude, him being a shorty, you know, to having a whole future with him. Yeah. So that off rip just was like boom. It's like 0 to 100 even before he even became a father. But now seeing him in a daddy role, it just do something to my inner child. Like it just do something to me because it's like I'm just grateful that like we doing life together. Like what I mean by that is like he a real life active father. Like you're our best friend too. So it's like I ain't doing nothing without him. He had every doctor's appointment, every like everything like how it should be because we married. But I'm saying like he jumped right in and just went to it with it wasn't like I had any moments with him where I'm like, dang, do you want to be a father or any of that? It's like he get offended if I be like, did you brush your hair? Don't ask me that I don't brush my daughter's hair. You know, like it's like he take it super, super serious. So it's like I met him as a boy, you know, like from like looking at him from a boy to now seeing him be a man, father. Like I'm amazed every day. Like just watching both of y'all growth and just like even sitting here with y'all right now, like with y'all suits on and y'all little bourbon and y'all little sick, bruh. I'm really proud of y'all. Like I can sit here and really say I'm really proud of just y'all.
That's what's up. As you should.
Like I feel like you know support. Like yes, bro. That's I don't know how we gonna do this interview because this is it's too much character going on up in here. But I guess okay, I gotta. So we gonna shift. We gonna talk about fatherhood and manhood. We gonna combine it too. We gonna get deep. So what are some things that y'all wouldn't want to take from y'all fathers to y'all children?
I would just say, because I've learned some great things from my father. You know, I've learned some great things from my father. He my dog. You know, I talk to him every single day. I'll probably hit him up right after I leave here. But the instability. Okay. You know, my father and my mom, they end up staying together. You know, so. Right there is, you know, the instability of that right there, you know, cause for
friction and
you know, so I would just say that the instability aspect of it, you know, as far as having a child or, you know, siblings, whatever the case may be, grow up in separate households because I got other siblings, you know, and we weren't always together at all the time. So I think just it is a beautiful thing when everyone can always, it is a blessing if, you know, everyone can grow up in the same household from 0 to it's time for everyone to get up out of here and go do your own things.
Yeah. What about you though? Something that you possibly wouldn't take into
from my biological father, just which I'm cool because I got a father, but probably not. It just seemed like he don't have a sense of urgency to know who his son is, you know.
Yeah.
So I can imagine Ayla just being out there and not
trying to find out what's
going on.
Yeah.
It's weird to me, especially like having a daughter where like you can have kids, not even speaking about him no more, but any fathers out there who got kids out there and they not even in their life or even trying to. It's a difference where it's boundaries where you're trying to, but the law get involved or whatever like that when you're not even trying. It's crazy because I can, like, Ayla about to go to Cali for a month. I don't even know what I'm about to do. Like, I ain't been away from her for a whole week in her whole life. So, but my father that raised me, man, he did an amazing job with me, man. Like, he dope. Like, I would take every quality that he had.
So, what's some things that y'all would take? And I wanted to start off with which I wouldn't take just to see, like, as far as parenting styles, like, you know, we all have them, like, as women and as men, like, when you have a child, you like, I'm not gonna take this with it. Like, and I think it's important for people to know, like, who even have kids, like, because everybody got that feeling like, oh yeah, I ain't raising my kid like that, or I ain't doing that with my kid.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's important because you got to highlight those things. Like, some people might not think certain things is issues, but for you that might be something like, yeah, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I think both y'all gave some something really, really good, because those are issues in our community as a Black community, like the instability and the lack of urgency of even, knowing
being present.
As being present as a father. You know what I'm saying? Those are real things that are happening in our community today. Because I think a lot of people don't realize that, or a lot of fathers don't realize, like, when the mom and them are not getting along. Because I got a lot of friends like and family like this. Like when the mom and dad not getting along, what that can do to a child, or the lack of urgency, how that could make a child feel. Am I not worthy? Am I not, am I not valuable? Do I not matter? Those questions happen to you, like as a kid with what you experienced. I'm sure you had some of those thoughts, like, dang, what I, like.
Yeah, it was just a little different because I see my birth certificate, right? I see a Shaki, say her name on there, then I see somebody else's name, and I don't know who these people is. So just growing up, not knowing where you come from, can get a little different,
Because it ties into that identity part, like who am I?
But my dad always told me, is like, he encouraged, like, trying to make sure I knew my family. He always says it's important to know your family. So it wasn't like he was ever trying to keep
separate the two. Yeah,
he encouraged it. Like, it's good to know who your family is. Like he's very honorable. Like, probably the best thing that happened. And the way it happened, it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Like, out of everybody, all my siblings, I was in the most stable situation.
Yeah.
2-parent household, a family that loved me, brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Like, man, I was on AAU from 6 to 17, even when they didn't have the most.
That's what I was going to say, with a man that nurtured your God-given gift.
God-given gift, yep.
A man that just happened to already have a God-given gift of yours, though, was able to nurture that.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro, that's why I say it's so important. I think for me, for just in general, fatherhood is always a touchy subject, especially just in the Black community, because of the lack of fathers that there is, and for whatever reason that there may be. Not every situation is something like that. Maybe people just might not be there because they don't feel like they had the resources. Some people been through things in their life as to why they can't show up, the way that they want to show up. But it's just like one of those things where it's like, being on the opposite end of the spectrum, like we talk about, just being the child where your dad really went there, it's like, it does raise questions. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I started with that, because it's important for y'all to know y'all parents' styles and things that y'all don't want to take. But what are some things that y'all do want to take, that you do want to take from your dad for your parenting style?
You want to go first, too?
Yeah. I mean, I would say, because again, like my dad was pretty dope, man. As a young man, young boy, to go back to the beginning of the episode when we was talking about that, being able to kind of nurture your daughter a certain way compared to your son, that was my dad. It wasn't like nurturing. It was that tough love that a young man need. As a little boy, you be sometimes like, man, why my dad being hard? But it was like, nah, this is that tough love. And it's like, I remember as and I feel like I still have this in me, it's instilled in me at a young age, my dad just instilling that hard work in me, as far as, one, just life in general, and then two, to my God-given gift of being able to play basketball. And I've never asked my dad, maybe I will, like if he was a hooper or not, but I would say on a basketball aspect, but this still correlates to real life as far as how much of a hard worker I am. The drive to not give up, what I'm saying? Like I remember, when we was growing up in Brittenell, our street, like, it was like a circle. You can literally go around from my house to around the whole circle, go through the alley and get back to the house pretty much. And the stuff that you really don't see kids doing. I talk to my boys a lot about simple stuff. He would make me dribble around the block all left hand.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Don't touch the ball with the right hand. Dribble all the way around the block with your left hand. Push-ups, sit-ups, going into the basement, doing the small things, working out, so he instilled into me what it meant to just work hard and not shy away from the fundamental basic work of what it takes to do that, to be great at something.
So that's something that you would want to instill
into yeah, for sure. Hard work. What it means if you're gonna dedicate yourself to something, if you're gonna say you want to do something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
This what it takes.
Yeah. We can't, it's hot outside today, Daddy, I don't want to go outside and work. Like, no. We gonna go outside.
There need to be limits to that.
It ain't no limits to it. We gonna go outside and get some work in. So I would say that for sure. Like, what it means to be a hard worker. And that helped instill me what it meant. Now my dad is real good with his hands, fixing stuff. I wish he would have taught me how to do that. Cat. He can build something from top to bottom. I ain't listen. Hey Pops, can you come over and put this together for me?
Yeah. What up, dude?
Yeah. What up, dude?
Now that I can't do, but when it comes to just, I'm gonna find out how to do it, even if I got to YouTube and watch the video 100 times. So I would say that's part right there is the commendable part to where will always stick with me.
Yeah, that's what's up. Go ahead though. What's yours?
To piggyback what you said, just hard work, being disciplined, moving with integrity, all those things, all those mantras. But he always used to tell me, like, you here on earth, not just for you, but for everybody else.
Yeah.
So that's probably the biggest thing that changed. Like what he taught me. He taught me 30,000 things. Don't let me get in trouble if you watching this. He taught me 30,000 things. But just him saying, like, we here for not just for you, but just for
other people.
You here for someone else.
Yeah.
So when you're doing stuff, you don't know what you're doing for the other person. So don't be selfish in the ways or be down selfishly on your problems because you're here for somebody else.
Yeah.
And y'all too. Let me get on y'all too. On the examples y'all put for other people that's watching, not even the podcast, but you coaching the kids, you cheerleading, and then the other thing you have going on, the mentoring group. Like, y'all amazing. I'll be watching, like, that's dope. But what my daddy taught me is what y'all doing right now is just dope for real.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the godly
so
principle.
Selfless. You know what I'm saying?
That's a godly principle. That's what I was about to say, because the world teaches us selfishness, and God says selflessness, because like you said, we're not here for us, we're here for other people. And I think that's a really good thing to like teach, your child. So let me ask y'all this, as a man / father, because I told you we're going to tap into a little bit of manhood. What are some things or some questions that nobody asks that you feel like they should ask y'all?
Are we okay?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
Because we be tired.
Yeah.
I mean, just feel like, oh, they all right. They cool. Here, man. Toughen up. But are you, like, the mental health, are you good? Are you okay? How you feeling today? I don't think we get that asked to us that much. Because the burden be on us a lot with, like, providing and just being there with women emotions.
Oh my goodness. Lord gracious. Let me take a drink to that.
Yeah, let's.
I don't like this. I feel like I'm getting ganged
up.
For
real though.
Nah, you ain't.
Tonight, I ain't gonna, but I'm just saying y'all go through some emotions. Mm-hmm. But it's never like.
It's about us today.
It's about us. So.
You was about to get deep and then you messed it up. See, you a bad influence in this moment because he was about to take it there. But the question is, are y'all okay? That was yours. What's yours then? What are some? Let me repeat the question because I'm gonna make this a clip.
Okay.
What are some questions that you feel like nobody asks that you feel like they should? I know that sounds so crazy. What are some questions that you feel like people don't ask but they should? Man.
Hey, how you doing? How your day going?
Hey. That's why you don't know the song.
On your mind. What's that? But nah, man,
that's not gonna be a clip. You got messed up.
It might be. Don't be mad. Shoot, she asked how your day was going. It's not about you.
Because that's
he's not saying. It's not as men. Not
that's what you can't.
See, you taking it.
Feel me? You taking it personal. Breathe.
Because the way you said that song, and that sounds like that's something that you would want.
We saying not us.
We're speaking for men. It's not about you. Quit personalizing it. Calm down. Yeah, but it's hard because the thing is,
So your question? No,
I'm answering your question. I'm dead serious. Like I said the song, but I'm dead serious. I mean, it's just like what Doe said. You know, we in a society of what we living in today. You know, again, you can probably round up 100 people and ask them how many women and men who has shown you what to do as far as what it takes to be a quality man. More than probably 75% gonna say they don't have that example. I say that to say, you know, when as a man, when you are trying your best to do all you can and to be representations of what you think a husband should be, a father should be, a good man should be, a role model, you know, whatever the case may be, I feel like we don't get the recognition for that. You know, we still get held to a standard to where, oh, well, you doing it, that's what you're supposed to do. And it's like, how is that fair? You know what I'm saying? How is it fair that I'm trying my best, and even when I'm lacking, or maybe having a hard day, it's not okay. Well, you know what? Let me see how he's doing today. It's no, well, you're a man, that you're supposed to be this way, and I don't feel like that should be the case.
So I had just asked you about, you know, what the questions that y'all would like for people to ask that they haven't asked. Like, you know, what people should ask that they don't ask. And yours is they okay? Like, are you okay? Your mental health. And yours was just like, how your day going? You know, like, and just feeling like people feel like y'all gotta be so tough and be like, that's your job. I wanted to ask y'all, how does that make y'all feel as men? Like, how does that affect y'all? How does that make y'all feel that people don't ask, or are y'all okay? Or people feel like, oh, you a man, so this is what you're supposed to be doing. You know, how does that make y'all feel?
I mean, sometimes you feel unappreciated. You know, you work hard. And I'm not saying no, I'm just saying period. I'm talking for all men. Like, you can feel unappreciated. We work so hard. Like he was saying, it's like, oh, you're supposed to do that. Like, we still human beings, you know? Like, we gotta deal with this. Being a black male in the US, that's even a lot to deal with right there, a lot of pressure right there, just trying to survive day by day in this corporate America that's not even built for us. Yeah. So, you know.
So it makes you feel unappreciated. Q, how does that make you feel as a man, or speaking for men in general?
I would say probably devalued, unmotivated, you know, because again, when you doing something and you working, let's pertain to, you know, let's say you in the gym shooting 500, let's say you shooting 1,000 makes up a day. You have practice getting up 1,000 makes, you trying your hardest. And then come time of game time, and coach look right over you when it's time to play, and you don't never get that opportunity to, you know, step on that floor. So it's like a little bit of, you know, devalued and unmotivated to, you know, I would say as men, if you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, continue doing so, because, you know, it's funny, man. We living in the era to where, you know, when you are a good man or you're trying your best to be that, you know, on the other side of things, you got women, and it's like, shoot, I'm speaking for just things that I see. How you going to tell me what to be as a man when as a woman, you ain't even doing what you supposed to do? Yeah. And I'm speaking for a lot of males that I know personally that say like, bro, I'm being held to some standard of what it means to be a man or what I'm supposed to be doing. And as a woman, I don't get nothing from this. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, I don't see what's the benefit of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as a whole, it's messed up, you know, because you got men trying to be, you know, you got, it goes both ways. You got some great women that unfortunately dealing with, you know, men that, you know, struggle in that area. And then you got some great men that's really trying to focus in on women, finding them a good woman. Then, you know, and in their cases, they like, well, it's still a certain standard that I'm going to hold you to. And well, you ain't even had a standard to hold to look at, to be, you know, say, this is what it's supposed to be like.
So my question is this pressure coming from women or is it society? Because you specifying going towards like the women's side of it. You said something about,
I
think it's a society thing as a whole, and then we're all affected by it. I'm saying I said woman because we,
But no, that was
you
that
know,
was a that was
I'm speaking for the men who, you know, want women, you know, they're trying to hold men to a certain standard of what they perceive is supposed to be like. And as you know, with being in a relationship, bro, if I would have held you to the standard that I felt like a woman was supposed to be, if you would have held me to a standard that maybe you felt like a man was supposed to be in the beginning, we would have never been with each other. We would have been, it would have been not working. So here you got people that's single or looking for relationships that's trying to hold people to certain standards of at so much of an early stages in in relationships or situationships, to where it's like, bro, if you know, what we doing here? What foundation are you trying to hold me to as a man to be when, you know, there's no other solid foundation that you could even, you know, go ahead.
yeah. No, that
Yeah,
no, that
no,
was
yeah, no, I just want
because
to
I
go
wanted
ahead.
to know, like, you know, just where the, you know, like, how does that make y'all feel, and the pressures, where is it, you know, coming from? Because like you said, it's coming from all ends of the spectrum. It's coming from society. It's coming from, you know, your girl or girl, or, you know, women. Is it even coming from the homeboys? Like some of the pressures and different things that y'all feel like feeling like unappreciated or undervalued.
No, I got a great solid core foundation with my, I don't call them my friends, my brothers.
Yeah.
I only got a few, I can count them on my hand. But just being able to talk to Q, D, Net, just talk to these individuals where they don't care. They just want to make sure I'm happy. They don't care if I got $1 in my pocket, $1 million, you know?
So how important is it to have a nice foundation of friends who are inspiring you, encouraging you, and motivating you to be the best father, the best man that you can be? Like, how important is that to y'all's growth?
Super, super important. Because most of the time, your close friends is your outlet. So whatever is getting fed to you, that's what you're going to keep rolling with every day. So if I'm talking to Q, like we started the Book of Matthew, if I'm talking to him and we talking about God, trying to get better, get close to God, we talking about his kids, training and stuff like that. We talking about all positive stuff. We feeding each other with positive ideas and information.
Yeah.
Besides you calling somebody, they talking about some girls they met at the club, or just some crazy stuff. Like I could call D, he talking about his real estate. He talking about working out every day, trying to get better. Like our conversations, even born that, trying to work out. Like everybody I'm talking to in my close niche, we trying to better ourselves every day.
As men.
As men, yeah.
So it's super important. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, it would be the same, you know, because, you know, birds of a feather flock together, you know. So, I mean, to have people in your corner that you can trust in their, you know, words that they're saying to you is extremely important. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't call every single person and ask for relationship advice. You know what I'm saying? Don't know us, I'm gonna say us, from the time that we first got with each other. So if I was to call and like as he said earlier, he didn't been in them arguments to where, you know, I probably wanted to knock your head off. You know what I'm saying? So I can't call you know, I can't call, let's just say Brandon, and be like, hey bro, y'all tripping. Brandon got a slew of females that he deal with every other day, to where when one chick making him mad, he can go deal with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got to deal with you. I can go deal with somebody else. So I can't call Brandon and be like, hey bro, what you think I should do here? Oh bro, she tripping. You know what I'm saying? She ain't, you know how these females be? I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I got to call somebody that understands the foundation of our relationship and understands what it means to be in a committed relationship, and understands what love looks like. You know what I'm saying? So to have a flock of birds, I would say, you know, as with the analogy that I use, to in which you can lean on, is powerful. You know what I'm saying? Because Dorian been there. I'm speaking for us right now, but as a whole, it's the same thing.
Yeah. So what do y'all feel like for men that society or women or whomever that y'all around can help? what can they do to build you guys up? Like, what is some things that you feel like men need that people are not seeing that if it was done, it would help build y'all up? So is it asking those questions? Is it creating the space? What does that look like?
I think it's really up to the individual who the man is. You know, once you want to do better, I think you just start with God, building a relationship with God. That's gonna change who you hang with, who you talk to. I just think just starting with the core, which is God, you know, because you still not gonna be fulfilled on how your girl treats you or your friends treat you if you don't got a relationship with God and you're looking for somebody else to make you feel better. So just start with God, because He got all the answers.
Yeah. So
I know that's a broad answer for me, but
no, I think that's a good one. You saying so I guess you saying like man can grow their relationship with God that can help them in them feeling like
it's gonna change. You don't stop doing certain things once you get a relationship with God.
Yeah.
You know.
What's your your take on that?
I'm gonna go off of that because I'm gonna say, you know, right now we live in a society in which, you know, real is fake and fake is real. You know what I'm saying? And that's tough for everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's challenging for everybody to, you know, persevere and move lane to lane when you can do all you can to be the best you can be and kind of still get looked down upon for doing that. But then you see I'm just using examples. You might see somebody else out, you know, them in a strip club throw $10,000 ones, and bro might get, you know, all the credit and acknowledgement in the world, you know what I'm saying, for being that individual. So again, we live in a society where real is fake and fake is real. So, you know, having that foundation of God to lean on and understand, like, bro, like, trust the process. You know what I'm saying? Be okay with the process. I think that'll help deliver us all to in understanding, like, you know, I'm doing this for the one who sent me here and not for nobody else.
I think what helped me too, I'm gonna bring it back to my pops. Like when I hooped, I'm gonna bring everything to hoop, but when I used to hoop and all that stuff, he used to be like, these really God's gifts. You know what I'm saying? So you utilizing it, working out, going crazy on the court is really just showing God in different ways, showing your way of showing God. So like, it don't matter if you ain't ranked or if you overlooked, because you doing this because it's God's gifts. You know what I'm saying? You showing His gifts that God gave you on the court. So basically, whatever you're doing, you should be doing it for the purpose of God and not like me being a good employee at my job or being a good brother for Q and Yaya. Not for y'all to give me gifts and be like, hey, though you a good brother, but it's because that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be the image of God. And that's what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Not to get something out of it where I'm like, dang, I feel like Q still, he don't appreciate me.
Yeah. And it's challenging because that's the society we living in, though. You know, we want that, what was that, slight edge we was reading?
The slight edge.
To where, you know, back in day in ways times, you know, what's the process of you plant, harvest, and then you see the fruits of it. Nowadays we living in a society to where you plant and then you want immediately the results. You know what I'm saying? No one want to wait through the process. We want that instant gratification. So, you know, to your point where you saying like, shoot, as long as you know you're doing something for God, that's all that matters. But we living in a society now to where I want instant gratification for everything that I'm doing. Like I want to be acknowledged for everything that I'm doing. I want the rewards, you know, the physical rewards, not knowing like, bro, you know, we don't got to get all deep into it, but not knowing like, shoot, the rewards is on the other side of things. You know, it might take us a while to get them, but you know, we don't know what the rewards might look like, but you know, the rewards is on the other side.
So as far as the society piece, what do y'all think can help y'all feel better mentally in society? Like, because when I asked y'all where the pressures coming from, you like society, you know, sometimes women, whatever. And I said, well, what ways can we do? What could we do, society, women, to help build y'all up and make y'all feel like appreciated, to feel value? Like, what are some things that y'all feel like needs to change in society to kind of help better men's mental?
bring strong men to the forefront. We need to,
male representation.
male representation examples. Rest in peace to, the late great Nip Hustle. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's somebody that we both kind of then picked and pieced little bits and pieces of things from. But just to be able to see. We talk about this all the time. We both individuals to where musically, even we want to get on YouTube. We want to hear something that's meaningful. You know what I'm saying?
And like somebody that look like us,
somebody that looks like us, that's really speaking some gems, and that's something that we can grasp and grow with. Nowadays, as far as that aspect of things, it's not really many people that young men can look up to and be like, oh, that's dope. He looked like me. He's doing something kind of different. He's still making it kind of look relatable. And that's something that seems to be tangible. All we got nowadays as a culture from black men to look up to is Lil Durk,
all the male rappers.
I
mean, if I'm being honest, it ain't that many. Well, maybe it's where we looking. I don't know, but we don't really see, like you said, a lot of positive male role models where just being a cool dude.
All we seen is a Diddy scandal out
talked
there.
about a Diddy, Diddy oil. But I just talked about this. Like Lucci just got out. And we ain't gonna talk about rappers on here or whatnot, influencers. But it's the fact of bro, and it irks me because, and I'm passionate about it because, I got a daughter. You know what I'm saying? I work with kids every day. I coach boys basketball. Our biggest influencers that these young men and young women look like up to don't talk about nothing but, killing, females, sexual stuff, like, what I'm saying? And it's like, that's what gets put on the forefront. That's what gets pushed as what it might look like to be a man, and that's not the case, but our young kids that's coming up, they don't understand that. They see that and they gravitate towards it.
What does a man, like fatherhood / manhood, look like to y'all? What does it take to be a man? What would y'all consider a high quality, high value man? What does that look like?
Integrity, spending time with their kids, being there. I just think that's like Nip. Like we watch a lot of interviews of Nip. I remember watching one interview. He said how kids spell love, and that's time. TIME. Like they don't care about what you bought them, anything like that. But when they look back in the past or when they was growing up, they're like, man, my daddy and my mama, they was always there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I can attest to that because I know for me, I remember when I was young, I was like, well, I don't care if you can't give me nothing. I just want to be with you. I just want to be in your presence. You know what I'm saying? So time, okay. What you think?
I mean, and I swear I'm not. It's funny because I was gonna say sacrifice, and when you explained that, it sounded just like my explanation of what I'm thinking about. But it's like, bro, what does it mean to sacrifice? You know what I'm saying? Like, you love something when you sacrifice for it. You know what I'm saying? So as a man, like being able to say, you know what, hey bro, I can't go out tonight. I gotta spend time with my family. I gotta spend time with my kids. You know what I'm saying? To show that example of not LOVE, but time, love. You know what I'm saying? I don't need nothing from you, as you just said. I just want your presence. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that look like? So being able to sacrifice shows you like what you value in life. What are you going to sacrifice for?
Yeah.
So just me and that are willing to sacrifice and understand, okay, bro, I might have to put this to the side, but this is what it takes to become a man.
So what do y'all both say? And I want y'all to individually, what would y'all both say to a young man who's scared and struggling to be a father? Or a young man who is, how about one of y'all do the father? So one of y'all, what would you say to a young man who is afraid of becoming a father?
He have a baby on the way.
And they got a baby on the way. And then the other person can answer, and y'all choose which one y'all want to do. What would you say to a young man who is trying to learn how to become a man without having that father figure present? Like, what does that look like?
I'm gonna go with the okay. I'm gonna go with the second one. So you said and then Doe's gonna answer the father, and I'm
so
gonna go.
You're gonna answer what that looks like for a young man to, like, what would you say to somebody who is afraid, that's about to become a father, that's afraid to become a father? What would you say?
It don't sound so cliche, but just do it. Like, just be there. You being a father, it's no handbook of doing it. It's no wrong or right way. But you being there and being supportive and being there for your kid, that's all you need to do. Like you said, sacrifice your time. If you gotta provide, make sure you got a job. Whatever you're doing, just be there. I can't tell you how you doing, how you and the lady, don't co-parent, whatever like that. Just be there for your child. That's all they care about. They don't care about what you bought them. They don't care if they got on some clothes from Big Lots. Just be there, be supportive. Just be there for your child. It's nothing more than just
Presence.
Just presence.
Okay. So that's what you would say to that young man who's afraid.
Just be there. Then find a group of individuals who's doing it already so you can be able to talk to them.
Okay. And then Q, what would you say to a young man who is trying to grow as a man but doesn't have that physical representation and don't know what that looks like?
One, you must have that desire. If you ponder on yourself about which way you should go, right there, that means that you got God in you. You know what I'm saying? Like if you still sitting down and you saying, okay, which way should I go? That's, whatever, Holy Spirit, whatever. You still got that desire in you to make the right decision. And so I say all that to say, don't be afraid to be different. You know what I'm saying? Like, be okay with standing out, because I swear to God, and I don't even swear to God, but right hand up, even though my cigar is right here, right hand up, I can speak to this. I can attest to this. The cool guys end up winning in the long run. Promise to God. Promise to God. What you mean by that? I promise to God. The cool guys end up winning. The ones who stay down, the ones who are okay with being different, the ones who are okay with doing the right thing. And I'm not saying this to say that everyone on the other side don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, but man, if you on this other side and you do the right thing, if you are okay with being patient, if you are okay with being different, if you are okay with being to yourself, the cool guys win. The cool guys win every time. You know what I'm saying? It's hard though. Yes, you're gonna have bumps in the road. You're gonna have your ups and you're gonna have your downs. We all do. But staying down and being okay with being uncomfortable in the long run will pay off, and if you don't have a physical person to, touch to, man, again, I didn't know Nipsey Hussle. We just spoke. I didn't know Nipsey Hussle. I didn't in it physical, but I wanted to have some of the qualities that he had. So that alone was good enough for me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to physically know Nipsey Hussle to be like, shoot, Nipsey did it. No, I didn't have that. But I believed in what he was doing. I had a brother in which I can talk to and was like, hey man, this is pretty dope. Check this out. And that was all I needed. You know what I'm saying? That was all I needed to continue following and pushing and knowing, and what he said, the marathon continues and believing, like, bro, I can tell he was different from the rest of the crew. You know what I'm saying? And he was okay with being that. So, be okay with being that individual.
Yeah.
Real gonna recognize. I promise to God. I'm sorry. Real gonna recognize. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Real always perseveres in the long run, bro. People gonna gravitate towards you if they know that Doe, even if Doe hung out with 20 gang members 24/7 and Doe never gang banged, 19 or 20 of them, and let's say 19 of them gang members, and the one that ain't, he just hating. 19 of them won't respect Doe for being Doe. You know what I'm saying? If they really truly love Doe, you know what I'm saying? They gonna honor that. You know what I'm saying? If you around people that's telling you, oh, you ain't, bro, they ain't supposed to be around you, but they gonna respect Doe for being who Doe is, and standing on as a man, as his core values. Don't be nothing you don't want to be.
Yeah, that's good. Because it's like we say, is a man out there who about to become a father and afraid and don't know what to do, then there's a man out there that's like, man, or a young man out there that's like, man, I'm trying to figure out what that looks like and what it means to be a man. But I don't got nobody physically, that mentor or somebody that I can have that conversation with, that I feel like I can learn from. What do I do? Because I want to grow, you know? And it's crazy because earlier this morning, I was just listening to a song, you know, it's called Reckless Love, and it was talking about God. And I was sitting here thinking, like, if God can do so much with a person who has an open heart.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah, no, I'm following.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, it goes back to what you were saying. Like, as long as you open and willing to grow, God gonna show up every time. So for that young man or that young woman who feels like, I don't know what to do, where to go, as long as you keep an open heart and an open mind, God gonna show up and show out for you every time, because he could do so much with it. He can't do nothing with somebody who don't want to learn, who don't want to grow. And I feel like that happens a lot with males, because I don't know if it's like a pride thing. Everybody got their things. I'm not just gonna just put it in just with males, but I know that males deal with a lot of pride and ego, because y'all are men, so y'all just want to show up and y'all want to seem like y'all got it all together, even when y'all don't. You know what I'm saying? Because again, maybe that's the way that y'all talk.
But again, to what we said earlier, yeah, that's the way we talk, because that's the only way we get any type of validation. You know what I'm saying? We don't get validation for being anything else than doing what you're supposed to do. You don't get credit for trying hard.
Yeah.
You don't get credit for trying. You don't get a pat on the back for saying good job, though. You don't get a pat on the back.
At least I tried.
You know what I'm saying? You don't get that as a young man or as a teenager. You get credit for being or doing what technically society has told for you to be or expects for you to be able to do. You don't get credit for trying. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So, you know, side note, I kind of want to go back on this. Y'all don't think that's like a part of the curse that God did with Adam in the beginning?
I don't know about nothing about that right now.
No, because remember when he cursed him and he said what he said, he told Adam, like, you're going to be working hard labor.
We can always wrap it around that. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, though, on some real.
And we ain't going there, but yes. We ain't going there, but yes, I can figure out a way to wrap it around to that, yes.
Yeah, but to go back to what I was saying, like you said, you don't get credit for just trying or whatever, but I know that to be true. Like, the reckless love of God, as far as if you got an open heart and an open mind, God gonna show up and show out. He gonna tear down every lie. He gonna come in those dark places. He gonna climb every mountain. He's gonna make sure that you good because you open. And I think that's a part of, you know, becoming. I don't know what it's like to be a man, but I could speak on that as far as just an individual being open to just receive love, to receive correction, to learn, to grow. And I feel like that could go both ways, when a man or a woman. You know what I'm saying? As long as you open, God could do so much with it. So,
and to piggyback on that, for me, my state, I'm trying to get to the next level with that. Meaning, like, I'm hungry for God, right?
Yeah.
But I want to get to, I just want to keep building brick by brick. So in my life right now, I'm trying to figure out how, like, I'm hungry for God. Like, we've been talking, we have a lot of conversations about it, but just me trying to figure out how to get to that next level with him, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it's about, so I think sometimes, like, okay.
Let me go. Let me answer, you know.
Go ahead then.
It's about being patient, bro. You know, again, as basketball, and I, you know, similar to you, we correlate everything to hoop. I talked to my boys about this in the gym today. If we shoot jump shots in the gym, right? If you ain't went into the gym and shot 500 makes a day, how can you expect for when you get into that end game situation to perform? We can't. But the man in us, you know what I'm saying, the competitor part in us, the hunger in us, we expect different results. You know what I'm saying? Like, I talked to my boys. I can't expect more with God. As far as a relationship, than the work that I didn't put in. It's the exact same correlation in basketball. I asked my boys today that on the test, I said, how can you expect to pass a biology test if you didn't even study for biology? You know what I'm saying? But again, the man part in this, the competitor part in this, the bravo part in this, we just expect for the greatness. You know what I'm saying? So you know, it's just about the work that we put in and then being patient with it. You know, bro, you was a hooper all your life, but it took you years to be able to for some of the result, for the accolades. You know, when you was 14 years old, you wouldn't be able to get the accolades that you got at Kentucky State. You know what I'm saying? So it's about being okay with knowing, like, bro, shoot, it might take 15 years. I might have to read the Bible for 5 minutes a day, but I might have to be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, brick by brick.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, you gotta be careful because you don't want to develop the works mentality, like trying to work your way into it. Ain't that? It's a relationship. It's the more you spend time with somebody, the more you get to know them, right? That's it with anybody. Your friend, the more I'm spending time with you, I'm learning how your day went, what you talking. I'm learning you. So it's just literally about the more time you spend with God, the more you're gonna get. God is such an open book, and He won't no homo. He wants you just as much as you want Him, right? And you have to be like, you say you hungry, right? He okay, let's just say God. I'm not even gonna say it because we know that God is okay. God is just waiting. Like, He know. I mean, God know. Like, Doe desires a relationship with me, and I desire a relationship with Doe. So it's a scripture in Matthew 7. Have you read Matthew 7 yet?
I read Matthew.
When He say, knock, and the door will be open. Seek, and you shall find. Yeah, that's a real thing. And it's beautiful to even see that hunger that you even have for God right now. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes time, and that's what God wants us to know. It ain't no pressure. Like, a lot of people like to put pressure on people's relationship with God. It's no pressure. It's literally because God is not a forceful God. God is a you want me or you don't. We kicking it or we not. Like, and it's not like a pride thing. It's just more so like, I'm not gonna force. I gave y'all free will. I want you to choose me. Just with anybody. That's in relationship with, you know, your fiance. You want them to choose you. You want them to want to spend time with you. You want them to, you don't want to be like, come spend time with me and forceful about it. Cause is that love? Is that like true relationship? Cause I'm actually forcing you to be here. That's how God feel. Like, I ain't trying to force you to kick it with me. I love you. I want to kick it with you, but I want you to want to be here as well. So this, we could build our relationship all day, you know? So I think that's dope that you saying like you hungry for God right now and you in Matthew. Cause I feel like Matthew is a good
even
book.
in Matthew, when this I feel like when I think about it in hindsight, my whole life, when Jesus started walking on water, who was that in the boat that was like, hold on, like who was that? Was that Peter? He was like, hold on, if you really him, have me walk on the water, and you got him. It's just like you got so much little faith. It seemed like God, like Jesus, my whole life. When I question him, like he'd keep doing stuff for me, keep doing stuff. You know,
to show you who He is.
Yeah, like it's crazy when you really like. You know, Jesus funny. He wouldn't keep speaking in parables and stuff, but like he dope though for real.
But I feel like that part of the parables, and we can go back to manhood and fatherhood. But I feel like the parables was one of those things like, this how I know who follow me and who don't. Those who have ears, let them hear.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I ain't talking about the Kevin Gates. Those who have ears, let them hear, because I don't know what he was on. But so I will say this: like, when you are on your social medias, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and you seeing who are some black prominent male, or not even just black, some prominent males that you see outside of Nipsey that you could be like, no. I was about to say that you could be like, tell kids like, oh, go check him out. Like, he got some substance to him.
No, there ain't none out there.
Do y'all look at y'all? Do y'all view yourselves as black prominent men?
I'm gonna say. So what I'm gonna say is, I don't know.
Yeah, they out there. I'm not gonna say.
What I'm gonna say is, I don't know, because at this point in time, you don't know what you don't know. And the thing about social media is it make everything look good. You know what I'm saying?
That's you right.
It make everything look good. And then with being in the relationship, you know, we know the real as far as what goes on behind them closed doors. When you know what I'm saying, the highs and the lows. So I don't know. I would say Nip was one to where as a man I really did, but I am gonna say you know, someone that I do feel like, you know, at least is a representation of that potentially is Brown. You know what I'm saying?
LeBron James.
Don't get her started.
Hey, I'm gonna say that because
LeBron James.
we ain't doing that.
LeBron.
We ain't doing that. But, and I'm just gonna say why, and I'm gonna just leave it at that because Bron is still with the woman that he was with when he was in high school. They got a beautiful family with each other, and they've been consistent. That's it.
So you just speaking relationship because I'm talking about a black prominent man that just in general, like somebody that.
Oh, just in general.
Yeah, I'm not talking about.
Oh yeah, I'm bad.
Why you keep going to relationship?
Maybe that was the Woodford. I don't know.
The Woodford.
I thought you was talking about, but prominent black man.
That you could just go to, that speaking substance that you can learn from, that you could follow.
I'm gonna say relationship because that's the end goal, though. You know what I'm saying? When
you, what about somebody saying I don't want to get married?
That's a possibility. I don't believe that to be the case. There's many men that's out here just saying they don't want to be married because I know the value of what marriage and having a significant other means and how powerful that is. So that's why I'm speaking on relationship, the value of that. Also, when it comes to somebody like a LeBron James,
Speaking of relationship and value, you just got engaged, dude.
Yeah. A lady out there, she's very lucky to have me. No, yeah.
So
yeah,
what, as a man, so we talking about that now, fatherhood, manhood, and then being a soon to be husband. What is that like? Like what? When did you know? What's going on? Talk to us about it. What's up?
It's super dope now, but it's crazy like. We went through it all with Ayla being born, just going, just our relationship, how everybody else would. But it's when you stick it out, it's worth it though, And then like,
I told you she was gonna be your wife. Sorry,
you did say that.
I kept saying.
You did.
I'm like, bro, I just see it.
But it's funny though. When my dad had a conversation with us, probably like,
I'm sorry.
3-4 months ago, like so what y'all gonna do, man? Like, you press down. Well, he was just telling me like he who finds a good wife finds a good thing. Just basically,
hey, Pops, I'm not trying to hear that right now.
You know what I'm saying? But he was just telling me like, once y'all become one, God can really use y'all. But it feel like we not married yet. We we fiancés, but it's just crazy. Like the big jump we took from a year from now until where we are right now. Just crazy how everything is going. Like even. Like I got a promotion at work. We moving to our new place in the next month. Like stuff just things keep happening. Like you know what I'm saying?
Like, I feel like God just showing you like this is the I'm letting you know this is where you know what I'm saying? Because God honors marriage, and I can attest to when y'all become one, God can really use y'all. I remember that's what made us get married within 30 days. One of my sisters in Christ was just.
And how did y'all do that? First off. It seemed when I went to the wedding, it seemed like y'all planned that for a whole year.
29 days, probably 28.
Actually, it was less than 30.
Less than 30, honestly.
That's dope.
But it was just God. Like when God was just like, what's up? Like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like you just said, like your dad is 100% honest. That's true. And I'm just gonna give a quick little. But I had a sister in Christ, and after we had left from like a mentoring girls conference or whatever, she just started speaking in parables. And I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? But she was just saying that with him being the coach, me being the coach, us both being mentors and being prominent in our community, she was saying that a lot of people are looking at us. So God really do want to use us, but we're shacking up. So she was like. She didn't want to say like, hey, y'all need to stop shacking up and y'all need to get married. She didn't want to say it like that, but that's what she was saying. So I remember getting frustrated like, well, what am I supposed to do? Because we already live with each other. We already got a house. We already paying bills. Like, what? She was like, talk to God about it. He gon', don't just tell God all this. He know what's up. Talk to him. He gon' whatever he wants you to do, he gonna make sure it happen. So fast forward to us deciding like I took it to Q. Q ain't have no type of like reservation and nothing. Like, all right, let's go. Q was on it more than I was when coming to finding venues and all of that. But to go back to how we did it, which is literally God was what God wanted. And since we did that, God took off with us and been able to use us as what He want to use us as a representation. You know what I'm saying? So. You ain't seen nothing yet with what God gonna do for y'all. And it ain't even just the physical thing. It's the spiritual blessings, the mental blessings, the physical. Like, God gonna just blow y'all mind because God honors covenant. Like, covenant is and it is not just you and her. It's you, her and God. So when y'all having issues, whenever y'all are just trying to learn each other, because it ain't always issues. It could just be, Lord, like, what do Ariana like? Like, how could I show up in this way? Or even just when you stand open, God can use you in that. So it's like you, God, and Ariana. God at the top, and then you and Ariana as a triangle. So you ain't just in a relationship with her. So everything you do to her, you do to him. You get what I'm saying? So your dad was 100% correct when he said he could really use y'all. And I literally seen that with us. I feel like God took off with us.
And I want to, just to, kind of circle back to the Father's Day aspect of it for, yourself and me, man. I want to say happy Father's Day to you, bro, because, since being
Likewise.
for sure, bro. But and I'm serious, since being a father, bro, you've done amazing. Again, you was younger than me, I don't look at you, or I've never called you like a little bro or anything like that. But to see you do it before me, was a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? And you showed me how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And even with your pops, he's somebody that from the time I've met him, then he took me in, I'm gonna say, and I've never had to question. And that was kind of odd, those that was kind of odd. I've never had to question that, from the time that I've met you, from the time that I've met your family, I'm going to say, it was nothing but love. So, I want to tell you happy Father's Day, bro, because you're doing an amazing job at raising a beautiful young girl. And to the whole point of this episode, that's something that's needed, bro. Like, we ain't got that in society right now, off to where we see a young man that ain't focused on. We don't see that often, to where we see a young man that ain't focused on nothing but being a father, a present, active, strong father, so, thank you, bro, because you was doing it before me. And for somebody to be 30 at the time of, having my baby, and look at Doe and be like, well, Doe did it when he was what?
28,
27.
27. It was that's commendable, bro. You did, and you blessed us with giving us a goddaughter. Let's not,
likewise,
you feel me? Let's not forget that. So that's a beautiful part of it as well.
Yes, sir.
I'm proud of both of y'all, though.
Yeah,
I think I'm honored to know both of y'all. Two men that want to do right in life. You don't see that often, and a lot of people think that it's not like this doesn't exist, and that's not true, because I'm sitting in front of it right now. Two black men who are trying to do good in life, want what's best, got children, active fathers, active in everything that y'all do, intentional. So I'm just super grateful and honored to be able to have met y'all both in college and be able to see that it does exist. Yeah. So for all the women out there who don't think that black males that is for the right, who take care of their kids, want marriage, that's not true. Who don't want marriage, that's not true. I have two men right here who are sitting right here that I know, that I went to college with, met, and is real. Yeah, so
but I believe, because it's unfortunate. I guess this goes back to what we was talking about a little bit before. It's so many men, as I know, it's so many women that desire the same thing, to be good, great women, great wives, great mothers. We just don't have the examples. There's so many men that desire to be fathers, that desire to be husbands, that desire to be role models. But again, right now it's unfortunate we're in a society in which we don't see the representation of it, and then two, again, because of the society we living in, we are prone to just wanting the recognition for doing certain things when you were say you're a young man and you're taking the step to do the right thing, and then boom, as soon as you don't get the recognition for it, you just fall back. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to continue doing so. So I know it's so many men that want to do that, but it's challenging. To continue pushing, to push forward, to knock down that door. But again, I guess that's what this episode was about to show. Like, bro, it's possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard. It is challenging. It's work every single day. But I know it's hundreds of men out there that want and have the desire. I have conversations with plenty of friends who desire to be good men. You know what I'm saying? But it's challenging. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we live in this. I hate to continue saying this, but we live in a society in which is so fried.
Yeah. So I would say this, and I don't want to diminish but like, do you think, because like you gotta think, both of y'all wasn't ready until y'all met, or maybe until life experience. How about y'all elaborate on that? Like, what because there's a lot of men who are young right now, living their life chilling, and probably not even thinking that they even gonna get this type of lifestyle, which is marriage and all this stuff. But they not against it. Does that make sense? Because like, I remember you talking, you was like, I ain't gonna lie, I thought I was gonna be a bachelor and I was gonna have like 3 baby mamas. That's what you said. That's what you said at one point. So I'm saying that switch, how does that flip? Like, how did this come upon?
I think a little bit of it is exposure, I guess. Once you're around it, for me, seeing like y'all, my brother Barnett and Ashley, like being exposed to it. Because when you're around a certain thing your whole life, amongst your peers, that's where your mindset gets to thinking like, well, that's how it's supposed to do. I mean, how it's supposed to be. Yeah. Once you experience it, like, oh, damn, my boy Q just proposed to y'all. Like, they about to get married.
Yeah.
Damn, I can do that too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I think exposure, and then just not being pressured from the outside, meaning like, and I'm gonna take it deeper. So like, just doing the right thing, like he was talking about as a young black man. Sometimes you can get pressure from the outside to be a certain way, and then you being different, you don't want to get clowned on or things like that. So you might be a person who treats your girl right, but you hang with a lot of people who just doing whatever, and they though you gotta be in the house by 11. Da, 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 da. So I just being that first to do it, and then just exposure, just having resources to things will help us out a lot. I know I'm just rambling, but I'm just...
No, you saying the right...
You saying facts.
No, because exposure, I would agree with that. And then also, too, you said... Because it kind of correlated to what Q had said earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like, being you. Don't be afraid to be you as a man. Like, don't be afraid to show up as a man. Like, it's okay to be cool. Like, it's okay to be like... I'm still who I am, but yeah, I do gotta be in the house at 11.
Because
I do got a girl. I do love her. I do want to... I ain't tripping on it, but you know what I'm saying? It's okay to be that way.
Because,
you know what I'm saying?
Because like I said, bro, if you got a crew of 20, the hardest, toughest individuals in the world, they respect that. You know, we gonna joke about it. Men gonna joke about it. Ha ha ha. But it's more than half of the people in that crew gonna respect it, and they wish they could be doing the same thing. But I would say that was one of the biggest blessings about being able to go off to school and kind of experience that, because like as you said, being able to kind of see different things really enlightened me and showed me that it's something bigger than my norm. I thought my life was nothing more than Cleveland Avenue, the north side of Columbus, Ohio, from 11th up to pretty much up to Northland. You know what I'm saying? I do nothing else. I got to put my GPS on to get around to Columbus. Outside of that norm of that, But once I experienced school and realized, like, dang, bro, it's more to this. That's when I realized, like, oh, okay, so it is cool to be different. You know what I'm saying? Like, but fortunately enough, I had that experience of going to school, though. You know what I'm saying? If I would have never had that experience of, leaving and moving, and experiencing different things, it could have been potentially challenging for me. But because I was provided the opportunity, I did see things. I was able to see things differently.
I think Disney Channel helped me a lot. I know y'all like, what the heck? Because like you said, exposure. I know for me, as a woman, growing up in the hood, where all you see is like baby mamas and, being a product of a mom who has, baby dads, and just literally being brought up on that. It was a thing where I just think it was God, where I felt like that ain't what I want.
Mm-hmm.
So I'ma live in this fairy tale in my head because I don't want that. But at that point I did start subscribing to it. Like I start being like, okay, well, I'm gonna talk to me a little hood shorty, or if I'm in school, so I had my godmom who kept me like nah, so it was like, okay, well, if I ain't dealing with a hood dude, I'm gonna deal with somebody that's in sports because I'm in school, right? But exposure is a real thing because I wasn't around it, so that's how I know God was like had a plan for my life. I wasn't around it, but I didn't think I was gonna get married. I ain't saying I didn't think that. Like, it was never like I was one of those people like, I ain't gonna get married. It was just like I went around it to see it enough to say, this is what I want. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, oh, I do. But I do want a fairy tale. I do. I want a fairy tale, but it wasn't like just there. So going to college, like he said, was one of those things where it's like, this a different way of living, and it's possible. I'm here, so I'm exposed to it, so it can be me. But the exposure part, I know that when I was in like being at home before going to college, being in the hood, being around family members, friends, and just seeing how everything go, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm probably end up with a drug dealer.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be what it's gonna be.
But you ain't just looking at you now, sis, like when you went down there, like the qualities we was talking about with our like daughters, we wish we had. I mean, they had when they go to college. It's like you already had them. Like nobody could really play with you. You know what I'm saying? You always had that. Like, can't nobody just come disrespect Yaya or just play with her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You wasn't doing for none of that. Yeah, even with like friendships, brothers, sisters. Like if we on some bull, you don't check this. Yeah. Sap, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just wanted you to know that, like, the qualities that you was asking us about, like, you had that, and just knowing your story, it's just crazy how you had that going to college and not even having that many, like,
father figures
or, like, examples.
Yeah, we can equate that to, like, we just talking about with y'all, like, back to fatherhood, like, God. Like, for any man out there or young woman so any men or women out there that may be struggling even with fatherhood, because not everybody have a father. Some people fathers are deceased, and some people fathers are inactive, and some people fathers are alive but they just don't have that relationship. I think the best advice that I can give somebody that's struggling in the area of fatherhood is just really, like you said, growing a relationship with God, because once you receive God's love as your father and your identity is in him, everything else don't matter, because then you get to say like, okay, I'm actually God's child. I know that sounds cliche because it sounds like, how can you just develop that mindset? But it's like the more you spend time with him, the more you get to know him, you can accept him as your father for real, for real. You're not fatherless, but a lot of people can possibly feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Fatherhood coming around. And I mean, Father's Day coming around. I know that could be a emotional day for a lot of people, but ultimately God can show you how much of a father he can be to you, and you will never lack with anything. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt that on my heart to say that, because I feel like that was an area of struggle for me. And once I accepted God as my father, everything else was like, okay, cool, we good. You know?
For sure, man.
But I know we're about to wrap it up. Once again, I just want to say happy Father's Day to y'all, and I'm so proud of the man that y'all become. Sitting in front of y'all today is truly like a blessing, for real, for real. So thank y'all for being who y'all are to me.
Appreciate it.
And being this man, y'all, I don't know what just happened this episode, because they got the bourbon, they got the cigars that they never lit. Go ahead, let me see you put it up.
That's all you need to do.
All right, so is there anything that y'all would like to leave the people with pertaining to fatherhood before we get up out of here, and then we up out of here? Any final remarks? Anything that y'all want to just get off y'all chest?
Man, just trust the process, man. I think we just said that before. Just trust the process, and be patient with yourself, and find somebody that you can lean on. Don't overrush it. Don't try. I'm just gonna relate it back to basketball. I tell my boys every day, get 1% better. I'm not asking for you to leave here All-American. You step into the gym with me, I'm not asking for you to leave here All-American. So young man, myself, though, tomorrow when you wake up to be a father, I'm not asking for you to be the best father in the world. Just get 1% better. You know what I'm saying? And that 1% will gradually build brick by brick, day by day. And then eventually you'll see some results. But just take it patient. Be okay with the process within yourself.
Mm-hmm. And I would say just be there, man. Like everything else, it's no handbook to be a father, man. Just be there. Actually want to be there. Like you was saying earlier, have the heart to want to be a better father for your child, so they can have a better life than you had. And just be there. I don't really have much to say on it.
Yeah.
Just be there. Don't be absent.
Yeah.
That's probably the worst thing, to being absent. Just be there.
That's dope. So y'all, thank you for kicking it with us for this whole entire episode.
No.
Oh, we finished mine. I'm low key at the bottom of mine, but we gonna go ahead and.
Cannot. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Y'all, thank y'all for watching these fools act like they ain't got no sense. These young black educated men who wanted to seem like they in the mob for whatever reason.
Feel like we carried ourselves fairly well.
Y'all look nice, man.
Thank you.
But thank y'all for politicking with us, y'all. Just make sure that y'all like, comment, subscribe, share, and yeah, we out.